Hello and welcome to Cần Thơ News of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station. Here are today's headlines. The National Assembly spent the entire day of June 21st to discuss draft land law amended under the direction of Vice Chairman of the National Assembly, Nguyễn. Voters' opinions, recommendations and reflections before and after the 9th session of the 10th City People Council, term 2021-2026 were duly noted. Cần Thơ City is preparing for the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the century-run Cần Thơ City. Top news today, on the morning of June 21st, under the direction of Vice Chairman of the National Assembly, Mr. Nguyễn, the National Assembly held a plenary session at the conference hall to discuss the draft land law amended. The final draft law comprises 16 chapters and 263 articles. Compared to the earlier draft that was publicized to collect public opinion, it has 40 news articles and sees 13 ones being removed. After studying the public's comments and suggestions, the Compilation Board draft law revises the entire content of Article 79 in the direction that the state takes land to implement socio-economic development projects for the benefit of the nation and the society in order to promote land resources, improve the efficiency of land use, develop socio-economic infrastructure in a modern direction, implement social welfare policies, protect the environment and preserve cultural heritages. It also supplements regulations on the centralization of the authorities to acquire land to district-level People's Committee, regardless of whether land users are organizations or individuals, except for the case of land taking for national defense and security. The draft stipulates in detail principles to decide land prices. On June 20, the Standing Committee of Cần Thơ City People Council supervised the settlement of voters' opinion, recommendations and reflection before and after the 9th session of the 10th City People Council, term 2021-2026.
Accordingly, 84 suggestions and comments from voters were provided to the committee both before and after the 9th City Council session. The content concentrates on concerns with health insuring examination and treatment, improving and repairing damaged traffic roadways, setting particular land prices, and issuing land use right certificates to individuals in residential and resettlement areas, and investing in people's access to clean water. To date, departments, agencies, and district people's committees have researched and acted upon all of the voters' suggestions and opinions. The delegation suggested that the City People's Committee keep instructing the relevant departments to review and monitor the outcomes of the resolution of voters' opinions and recommendations, to encourage and remind agencies, units, and localities to take action, and to raise the standard of responses to voter opinions and recommendations.
Ninh Kiều District has just held a meeting to mark the 98th anniversary of the Vietnam Revolutionary Press Day on June 21st. The delegates reviewed the 98-year history of the founding and growth of revolutionary journalism in Vietnam throughout the meeting. In addition to sending the journalist team well wishes, the Ninh Kiều District Leadership Delegate recognized the importance of local and national media outlets to the district and expressed optimism for the future. Journalists will continue to uphold the tradition of revolutionary journalism in the coming years, serve as a conduit for the party directive, state laws and policies, disseminate information to influence public opinion, and foster social consensus in the Ninh Kiều District's socio-economic development projects. Mr. Nguyễn Văn Hiếu, alternate member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of Cần Thơ City Party Committee, has just chaired a working session on the preparation of organizing activity to mark the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the century-run Cần Thơ City. Propaganda and launch of the emulation movement to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cần Thơ City under the central government will start soon. Agencies and units actively consulted to prepare a series of activities to celebrate the special event of the city, which are also being carried out, such as documentary film production, yearbook publication, contest, Tây Đồ Beauty, song composing contest, performing in Baba costume, announcing the 2023 Investment Planning and Promotion, Street Lighting Decoration, Hot Air Balloon Festival, International Marathon of Cần Thơ Heritage, and the 3rd National Composite Championship, so on and so forth. On the afternoon of June 20, the Department of Education and Training of Cần Thơ City held a press conference to inform about the preparation for the National Exit Exam in 2023.
Mr. Trần Thanh Bình, Director of the city's Department of Education and Training, expressed his best wishes to reporters from the central and local newspapers and radio stations at the meeting and stressed the value of the press in the process of the city's growth. In particular, they have actively promoted educational activities and information, spread positivity throughout society, and developed the emulation movement of effective teaching and learning in educational institutions. As for the high school graduation exam in 2023, taking place from June 27 to 30, the city has more than 12,000 test takers registered for the exam. The city schedules 25 exam locations at the high schools, along with 9 backup locations spread throughout 9 districts. The exam has 1,870 officials registered to take part. The prerequisites for the exam have essentially been met as of this point.
The National Steering Committee requires the Ministry of Health to downgrade COVID-19 from Group A to Group B according to its competence, and to work with the Ministry of Justice to consider and announce the end of the epidemic in accordance with the law.
It was the first time Vietnam had deployed disease prevention and control on the national scale for a disease in Group A. Ministries, sectors, and localities need to continue to develop COVID-19 prevention and control plans that are appropriate for the current situation, especially strengthening community health care, preventive medicine, and mobilizing and using resources, promoting unity, overcoming the epidemic's consequences, and stabilizing people's lives, especially for those who are often or otherwise suffering from the pandemic. Additionally, increase awareness, strengthen propaganda, disseminate information, and make clear the distinction between Group A and Group B in order to take the necessary action.
The Department of Health of Cần Thơ City has just concluded the project of integrating vision screening with the annual health examination program for children in the city. The project was funded by the United States Agency for International Development from July 2022 to May 2023. By providing screening services, identifying refractive faults, and funding classes for low-income families, the project aims to decrease uncorrected refractive error in children. During the project implementation, 59,855 students from 74 secondary schools in the city were screened for eyesight and consulted for referrals to determine refractive errors. 1,530 pairs of glasses were also given away during this period. The National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting predicts that this week, the ultraviolet index in the south is at very high level. Particularly in Cần Thơ City, the UV index can reach 9.5, which is an extremely hazardous level.
During this period, most of the southern provinces and cities have UV index levels ranging from high to very high, 5.9 to 9.4. For the next 3 days, the potential maximum UV index is forecast to remain at high to very high levels across the country. The Meteorological Agency urges people to reduce their time outside during the noon hour, since UV radiation is still present in significant concentrations. When going outside, people should take precautions such as applying sunscreen, covering up, and donning sunglasses.
Coming up next is the weather forecast. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.